gray and orange team.
Receiving leaders in the first half. Josh Murray had 4 catches for 53 yards and a touchdown, while for the Invaders, Constant Jackson had 3 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown, and John Bonney had 3 catches for 49 yards and a touchdown. So 3rd and short for the Pioneers. A 4 wide receiver set, fakes it to Sims, passes complete on the outside. Nice blocking downfield by number 82 on Josh Gatling. That was move it down the field, get the first. We need to see the Invaders defense make some corresponding adjustments. Would not be a good start to the second half to give up a touchdown here to start the second half. So I see Dante walking.
God damn it.
What? Oh, hi. Nice for you to join us tonight for a nice game of football. 1st and 10 for the Invaders. Johnson run this one up the middle and just going to slide down at the yard line. Or yard. What am I trying to say?
I don't know.
Line of scrimmage.
Still trying to get everything back up.
So for the folks who have tuned in tonight, sorry for the technical difficulties. Our Wi-Fi hotspot is being difficult tonight.
Lots of things are happening tonight.
Well, things are happening over here, over there. They don't even know, Franco. They don't even know.
It's weird. It seems like it started at a different
point. Regardless, is it on the same stream or are we a whole different feed?
We're
back to where we were.
I think we're on the same stream.
Okay. So I guess there was a loss of 1 on that play for Johnson. So 2nd and 11. Johnson pressure up the middle this time. Escapes. Escapes another man, rolling to his right. Throws this one in and out of the hands of Doe. Almost had a chance to make it a 3rd and manageable. A lot of scrambling done by Johnson there. Better than last time he scrambled and threw an interception in the end zone. So 3rd and 11 as our scoreboard is getting put back together. 3:29 left in the 3rd. This quarter's gone by quickly since we haven't been on the air for most of it, right?
It's a true story.
Don't worry, folks. You haven't missed much. Change of possession a couple times. Interception by Vinny Holmes inside the 10-yard line to stop the Pioneers' opening possession of the second half. Johnson moving Doe to the other side.
How is that not pass interference? Come on, man.
Referee crew says he's making a break on the ball, I guess, and it was incidental contact. We have not gotten a pass interference call on either side of the ball tonight, or on either team, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, really not a ton of penalties, which is I'm okay with.
In general, sure, but these pass interference penalties that are going uncalled it's not ideal.
Not ideal.
Let's put it that way. So 4th and 11 for the Invaders, so they will punt this one away. So Invaders move the ball down the field a bit. Spiraling kick by Tahir. It's going to hit down to the 15. Return man picks it up inside his own 5. Makes a couple men miss. And he's thrown forward, unfortunately, and he'll be out past the 20-yard line at almost the 22-yard line. So almost a chance there for the Invaders to pin him back deep. Return man makes a couple nice moves, and they are at their own 22-yard line. Let's see. I don't have a read. No, I bet you I do. Hold on. We need to do a read probably for wear repair as well tonight, since our commercials are MIA. They did not make the long trip across town. So we are, as they say, Franco, we're ad-libbing. So 1st and 10 for Giedem in the Pioneers offense. Back to pass, looking to his right, over the middle. Caught and hit hard. And there comes a penalty flag. Vinny Holmes led with his shoulder. Did not, in my opinion, didn't look like he made contact with the head. But the referees call that, so I'll mark off an extra 15 yards on the Invaders. I don't know that we've had a lot of agreement on calls with these referees tonight, Franco.
No.
And I would think that maybe some fans at home might agree with us. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Pioneers at their own 37-yard line. Vinny Holmes had that lined up, went in there, made the tackle. Fortunately got called for either hitting a defenseless receiver or helmet-to-helmet contact, which it wasn't. Giedem looking to pass, swing this one out, and that's just tying a bit outside. Ball 1. That was a baseball reference in case you were wondering.
It was. I got it. I guess what I was pondering was that a backward pass?
No, it was not. I'm pretty sure
it wouldn't have mattered because
No.
it went out of bounds. But
it would have been just nice if we would have laughed, but whatever.
yeah, I'm not laughing mood in the moment.
Well, you know what? You got to find the humor in everything you do, Mr. Franco.
You just blew my mind.
I know.
I would like my computers to work with me.
I don't think they enjoy working with you.
Not right now.
Trips to the left for Giedem. 2nd and 10. Alexander tried to blitz. Pass overthrown, picked by Josh Gatling. Trying to make something happen down the sidelines here. Still not going down. Now they'll finally whistle him down, and that is turnover number 6 by the Pioneers. see the Pioneers players getting a little bit upset. Same kind of thing we saw in the first half by the Invaders, just trying to throw that out deep, and it's not a good choice when there's a defensive back there waiting to pick it off. So that is turnover number 6 for the Pioneers, 5 for the Invaders. So the Pioneers only need 2 more turnovers to have more turnovers than points. So they got that going for them so far. And even with 11 turnovers in this game, they are not out of this yet. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter as the Invaders offense comes back out onto the field. Doe shifts to the other side of Johnson. Pioneers trying to show a blitz, fakes the handoff. Johnson with time, now he's going to have to take a sack there, taken down by number 91, Caleb Hulls, who is quick to celebrate that sack, Mr. Franco. I guess I'm one of those people that if you're trailing by at least 2 touchdowns, you don't normally want to make a big celebration after a sack. But that's just
Depends
me.
on how good the sack is.
That's what she said.
Oh, Jace.
That's what she said.
You just always set those up so nicely.
I do. You should
Thanks
thank
for
me.
that. Johnson throws a slant pattern over the middle. King also asking for a little extra touchy-feely there by the defensive back. That one looked like a little bit of miscommunication. It might have been due to the defensive back pushing King off course on his intended route, but it looked like King had kind of cut that one a bit at a sharper angle than Javante was expecting. So kind of overthrew him. So 3rd and Johnson under pressure from McGaster. He's going to run this one. He's got plenty of room. Going to head down the sideline and see where they spot him out of bounds. He's going to come up just short at the 48-yard line. So it'll be 4th and 2. But a nice run, a nice decision there by Javante Johnson to get some yardage there. So hopefully with a good punt, we can really pin him back deep.
I'm calling it quits on the scoreboard.
All right.
It's just not working.
It's just not responding.
It's just not. It's just not. So I don't know.
Well, you can take this second camera and you can just point it at your watch. You can just, show them how much time is left.
I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because I'm shutting this down.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Had me worried.
I don't mean to worry you.
Please don't. So Lazan to here out to punt this one away again. Gets the kick away. High spiraling kick. Fair catch signaled. Taken by the return man at the 18-yard line. No, excuse me, 13-yard line. My bad. So, kind of get to do this old school, Franco. We're going to have a million questions about how much time is left and et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, you know what I should have done?
So 4:38 to go in the third quarter. Your score 20-7. Fargo leading St. Paul. As soon as we get a next break, I got to do the wear repair read, just so everyone knows.
I'm anticipating it.
I think you
Highly.
should. It's breathtaking. Should dig out the Go Far photo one because that is an all-time classic, if you know what I mean.
You should do that. Do it right now.
Get him jet sweep this time. Some room up the middle for the Pioneers, making men miss. Vinny Holmes trying to wrap him up and pushes him out of bounds. Jeff DuBose with a nice run, their longest run of the night. I guess it is the largest too, but that's not what I meant to say.
I'm glad you corrected yourself.
Yes, I know. Gain of about 28 on that play. Got to do the math in my head, You're wrapped up around behind everything. Just sit still. Don't move. Don't turn your head. Clock running under 20 seconds now in the third quarter. About 7 on that play. So just as soon as they get a big running play, things turn around and go backwards for them. So after 3 quarters, your score, Fargo 20, St. Paul 7. Fargo Invaders 15 minutes away from trying to get this across the finish line and end on a winning note. As anticipated, Ware Repair is Fargo's newest and fastest growing repair store. Ware Repair is a family owned, and they care about your devices and want to make sure that you're satisfied as a customer. They understand that most customers are in a hurry and they value your time. Bring in your device and you will often get same-day service with the best service in town. At Ware Repair, they do computer repair and phone repair. However, they do so much more. They work on all kinds of devices and even work on home networks. They can even come to your home to service your device. And if you have a small business and need IT service, look no further. That's Ware Repair. Let's see. Did that one. Moorhead Massage and Wellness. It's their mission to work with folks who are in a healing journey and want to stay on track with their balanced life. They also want to make sure those who are financially strapped to have access to the care they need. Because of this, they offer a different kind of pricing scale. For therapeutic massage, intuitive massage, access bars, energetic balancing, and positional release, please contact Moorhead Massage and Wellness Center. Big things coming from Moorhead Massage and Wellness Center, Mr. Franco, as you get your stuff ready to go.
Yeah, that's true.
And since we got a little bit of a break here between quarters, it's been a hectic week. We had some awful weather that caused a lot of flooding around town, and it directly affected your business. And so you're in the process of making repairs and actually adding some new space, too.
Yeah, we actually expanded because we have to, because our current treatment area is non-operational.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just finished construction today.
Excellent, which is going to, in the near future, I'm excited about it, saltwater float tank. Geedham looking out to pass. He's got a man open across the middle. Taken down inside Invaders' 40-yard line, down to the 39-yard line is number 18, Cyrus Elliott. Kind of a crossing pattern there, or post pattern. No, I got a chance to stop by and see the progress on the new space. And Franco, his lovely wife, his dad and father-in-law all busy working there, making improvement. Ooh. Taken down around the neck. That's a play that happened last week that we got called on a face mask, and I thought it was exactly like that, but got me. So, no, it's exciting time at Moorhead Massage Wellness. It's not the way you wanted to
expand. No,
expand,
it was not.
But it is what it is. So you guys are taking advantage of the opportunity. And for those of you that are already current customers of Moorhead Massage and Wellness, or I should say clients, it's an exciting time. More services will be made available to their clients. Brazel up the middle, big hole this time. Taken down at the 20-yard line by Vinny Holmes. Looks like they'll mark him just short at the 21. So just past the 13-and-a-half-minute mark, and the Pioneers are finally driving. They got to make sure that they don't. Northland Bulls are up 13-7 after one quarter down in Sioux City, Iowa, in the other NEFL game tonight. Trips to the left this time for Geedham. Got a tight end in there as well on the right-hand side. Fakes the handoff, bubble screen, and taken down for a loss that time.
Nice play by defense there.
Should be Jermaine Armstrong, and I think that was Jeremy Gordon on the tackle. So that'll back him up a couple. So 12.5 minutes. You're just going to sit here and pack up all your stuff?
I am.
You're not going to go home early, are you?
I'm not going to go home early, but I am packing up the things that
did not work?
Yep.
I guess it's back to square one for the next broadcast, huh?
I guess so.
Geedham looking to pass, has time, throws it out to the left, and just a bit outside.
I would imagine I'd have a few minutes this week to play with some of the new equipment that I got and get some of these technical difficulties that we had tonight ironed out. I really didn't have any time this week, obviously.
I know. And that's another point to bring up about, the exciting time expanding the services at Moorhead Massage and Wellness. But, you do double duty as the, executive producer of our broadcast. And you've got all the technical duties of this broadcast and trying to put together all the bells and whistles on the computer. And then I sometimes when these computers do these things, I don't understand how they do not work. When they've worked at your house, you're like, okay, we can do it this way. I'm so excited for tomorrow. And then you come tomorrow and then nothing works the way it did.
Nothing works, yep. But I think part of that is, it's really hard to run.
3rd and long for the Pioneer. And there's the first pass interference penalty.
Is that going to be in the end zone?
Yeah, I don't think he was doing it in the end zone. It was going into the end zone. He did look like he grabbed the jersey a little bit, but compared to some of the other non-call pass interferences, I'm a little disappointed that is the first one.
He was still wide open.
He was, and that's why he was passing it to him, obviously. I was hoping that maybe they were going to call that pass was uncatchable, that it was too far over his head, but I would need a replay to confirm my
I don't have a replay.
I know.
And both the defensive coordinators are saying that was an uncatchable ball. But
yeah, not.
I don't think they're going to win the case.
No. Not my happiest night with a refereeing crew in semi-pro football.
Such a whiner.
Well,
no,
normally,
you're right.
You never want to be Sims, and I think he's short. Pioneers are trying to get them to raise their hands, but they're not going to.
No, they're going to mark them
down just short.
6-yard line or 6-inch line.
That too. So 2nd and goal, right at the doorstep of the Invaders. 11:35 and counting in the 4th quarter. This would be a nice time for another tackle them for a loss or force a turnover. So stacked wide receivers to each side. Handoff up the middle, and Sims is going to get in fairly easily.
Walked in there.
So that makes it 20-13 for the Pioneers, or excuse me, for the Invaders here. Touchdown for the Pioneers. So that'll bring up Elistad for the extra point attempt to try and get them within 6.
A lot of time left in this game.
Yep. Seth Kindman out there to hold this one. 11:16 on the clock here in the 4th quarter. Snap, the set, and the kick. It's good. So just like that, it's 20-14. Kind of changes the mood here at Sid Cichy Stadium. But time for the Invaders offense to get back out there and make some things happen. Oh, hi.
I don't know about you, but I would like that extra point. There we go. Yeah. I thought you were making a joke about
Invaders wish to thank the supporters, including Health Source of North Fargo. Dr. Travis Mewers is on the Invaders side. That's the Health Source of North Fargo.
I thought we might get into a little conversation there, but I guess
I wasn't ready for that.
I'm just going to be quiet.
You just be quiet and just laugh at my jokes. That's all I'm asking. So time for the Invaders to get something going on offense. They were able to spin their way through that 3rd quarter fairly quickly. But now Pioneers finally got a drive going there, and obviously we're aided by that pass interference penalty. The first one of the day, I might add. So time for the Fargo Invaders offense to make some things happen, and I would hope be able to get their own pass interference penalty called on the defense. So we'll see. I don't. One,
so
two, three,
what
four.
playoff implications are there tonight? So
Tiebreakers.
Sure.
Tiebreakers. Let me look at the article. I had it up earlier on my iPad, so hopefully I didn't lose that. So the point differential is the tiebreaker, and the Pioneers actually hold the tiebreaker over the Stampede, and that's points for and against, and that'll go into and out of the end zone for a touchback. So the Invaders will start at their own 20-yard line. So going into tonight, the Stampede and Pioneers were both tied at 4-1 atop the league, and the Invaders and Bulls were tied at the bottom of the league at 1-4. Point differential as of Why does this say June 30th? That's 2 weeks ago. Maybe this is not relevant at all. It has it as Pioneers as plus 49, Stampede at -5 because Stampede lost 28-0 to the Pioneers when Dorian Valentine was gone. And then they were able to beat the Pioneers in St. Paul, but they only beat them 12-10.
Right.
And then it has the Invaders at -17 and the Bulls at -27. So I don't know if that's up to date or not. I'm sure we could probably ask the league president, Mr. Pesnick, over there if that is correct as far as tiebreakers goes. But it all comes down to point differential, obviously wins and losses. Sioux City is trailing Northland right now, 13-7 last time I checked. Handoff this time to Doe up the middle. This time nowhere to go. So after seeing signs of life in the running game, that's an eerily familiar scene right there, watching the running back get tackled in the backfield for a loss of 2. Oh, there it's updated. Pioneers are at a +50. Stampede are at a +4 in the tiebreaker. Invaders are at -26. Bulls are at -28. So the Invaders, in theory, have a 2-point lead over the Bulls when it comes to point differential. Swing pass out to Constant Jackson. One man to beat. Tries to stop and start. Gets back to just past the line of scrimmage. He'll bring up 3rd and 11 for the Invaders. So with the Bulls currently leading by 6 and the Invaders leading by 6, the Invaders would get the 3 seed, regardless of if that's assuming both teams win.
Sure.
Or both teams
right,
lose.
as it ends, if it were to end right now.
Yeah, so if they have similar records. Pioneers have got a 36-point lead, so the Stampede would need a big win over the Stampede to
the Bulls.
Johnson on 3rd and long. Going to throw this one deep. Over the head is DeCoury. And that pass is incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down. Invaders not really happy with the late shove out of bounds there.
You know, and there has been a little bit of that. And I'm not saying it's just on Pioneers. I think it's been going both ways. And I don't know. When the officials don't throw flags early in the game, then this stuff kind of can get out of control.
Absolutely.
And I would like to see it stay in control.
Well, especially when you also look at the whole pass interference issue this game.
Right.
When we don't have any that look obvious pass interference calls throughout the game, and then all of a sudden we just get a little
snag.
And then, granted, I realized he was headed in the end zone. I don't know that he was going to particularly catch it anyway. But so Lazan Tahir set to kick this one away. Invaders need some positive things to happen on defense this next possession. Tahir gets it away just barely. It's going to hit and drop and stay there at about midfield. So 1st and 10 for the Pioneers at the 49-yard line. 9:39 to go in the 4th quarter. And this is time for the Invaders defense to step up and get a stop here. So the tiebreakers are confusing. But it'd be easier if the Invaders pulled out a win tonight and then, say, for example, Sioux City came back and won that game. Then it's an easy 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we don't have to go to tiebreakers. But if both the Bulls and Invaders win or both the Bulls and Invaders lose, then we go to all these point differential tiebreakers. Man in motion fakes there, handoff up the middle to Sims. And that's enough for a 1st down right there. So the Invaders are allowing that Pioneers running game to start gaining traction here late in the game, which is not exactly the most opportune time to have that happen.
2nd down.
As of now here in the 4th quarter, Pioneers have gone for, what did I say they had? -17 or something like that in the first half. For yardage, they're up to 36 yards rushing, so they've gotten over 53 yards here in the second half on the ground. Geedham fakes it, passes it out to his receiver. Ball kind of floated on him a little bit. Elliott had to kind of come up with that one. So 3rd and short at the Invaders' 41-yard line. This is no doubt a time where Pioneers are probably going to go for it on 4th down.
I would think so.
Check that. It should be 3rd and 2. So a couple stops here. Get the ball back and then try and get that clock running in your favor. Clock running past the 8.5-minute mark. Handoff this time to Sims, and he's going to plow forward, and they're going to put him just short, I believe. That far side referee is quick on the spot as far as marking it. That time it went in our favor.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty decent spot.
So 4th and inches for the Pioneers. So time for the Invaders defense to get a stop here on 4th down and get that ball back at their own 39-yard line. Be good starting field position if they can stop them here, that's for sure. Open up the playbook a little bit more. And we have a timeout on the field by the Pioneers. Right? Is that what we're doing?
Yep.
Or are they
Timeout
measuring?
Pioneers.
Okay. I didn't know if they were measuring. $7:30.
Something.
I heard in the booth at 7:33 or 7:30. No, they are measuring it right now. Maybe the Pioneers asked for a measurement.
They still have to use a timeout, though.
Mm-hmm. So it is 4th down.
Remains 4th down.
Whew. Getting a little tense.
Up in the booth.
Yes.
On the field.
Mm-hmm. So 4th and probably, what, 6 inches? Maybe, can't quite tell from up here. Maybe it's a foot. Either way, it's not far. We'll put it at that.
It's 15 inches.
Okay. Pioneers hustle up to the line of scrimmage. Isaiah Sims in the backfield, league leader in rushing yards. Geedham trying to get him to jump. Hands off. Taken down to the backfield by Derek Alexander. Nice play by Derek Alexander, the Great, as he was dubbed last year at US Bank Stadium. And that's a turnover on downs. Big defensive stop by the Invaders defense.
Boy, he just shot that gap.
Absolutely. 7 minutes on the clock. And Invaders have the ball at darn near midfield. So a nice time to make a stop. And now if we can get a couple first downs and really work that clock.
That's right. I was
at least get into field goal range and get a field goal out of it.
Or if you can even flip the field. I mean, if you don't score, just flip the field here. Take a bunch of time off.
I mean, the biggest thing with that the last scoring drive for the Pioneers, obviously, was the fact they simply didn't turn the ball over. I mean, this game has been filled with turnovers by both teams. So, you know, you don't give the ball away at midfield or deep in your own territory. I mean, you set yourself up for, you know, something positive. You laughing at me?
I'm laughing at Travis.
No. Yes,
Thanks, Travis. I needed that. Free play. Let it go.
Nope.
Oh.
That's probably going to be on us because I
No, I
saw
don't
Cornell
think
King
so.
take off, or it was DeCoury take off.
I think it was defense. I think it was encroachment.
Now the ref's going to talk about it. So we'll see what they come up with as a consensus. I see one referee pointing towards defense. Nope.
Jeez.
Calls against the Invaders.
So I'll back them up 5. Be 1st and 15 now. Nothing like increasing your degree of difficulty on trying to attempt to pick up a first down by moving it backwards. As I mentioned last week, this isn't like figure skating where you get more points when it's more difficult. All the points are, 6 points for a touchdown any way you look at it.
I heard that before.
Yep. So 1st and 15. Johnson with some time. Going to throw this one deep. He's got a man underthrown, though. Bobbled. Oh!
Ooh.
If Jackson would have been behind the two
spot,
of them, the ball got kicked up in the air off of the defender.
He was thinking the same thing.
Oh.
Body language is great.
Constant Jackson is the Invaders' deep threat, and I think the Pioneers are well aware of that. The touchdown pass he did have was on a post pattern. I mean, a lot of times there are teams that are unable to keep up with Jackson's speed, so if you throw in a little bit of a hesitation or a move at the line of scrimmage or something to free him up. I mean, he looked open for a minute, but that ball kind of drifted towards the middle of the field as opposed to the sideline. It was almost intercepted by 2 different Pioneers. So 2nd and 15 now. Here with 6:52 to go in the game. So play clock running down just before the play clock. Johnson rolls right and loses the ball and is recovered by the Pioneers. And so there it is. Fargo's 6th turnover, but there's a penalty flag, and it's holding on the offensive line, so that will be declined.
So, I mean, when I'm looking at that play, you saw every single receiver go downfield.
Yep.
You don't have anybody short.
Yep.
And to me, I think we're in a situation where you're trying to get the clock to move and run the clock out.
Mm-hmm.
I question
going deep
twice. First down and second down, and now we have a turnover.
Well, we've seen plays like that throughout this game and throughout the season where we don't have anybody intermediate in a situation where there is someone that's there for him to make a emergency check down.
False start, incomplete, and a fumble.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
exactly
so,
right.
I mean, it's
right, exactly right, Bucky. So 6:43 on the clock here in the 4th quarter. Invaders trying to make this exciting, I guess. So man in motion. Handoff on the jet sweep once again for the Pioneers. Trying to pick his way through. Gets down to the 25-yard line. That jet sweep has become somewhat effective for the Pioneers, and they are not afraid to continue using it. 6.5 minutes to go in the game. Invaders with a 6-point lead after they had a bad snap on their 3rd touchdowns, extra point. Couldn't quite run it in for 2, which that would have been really helpful about now. Man goes in motion again, fakes it to him. Handoff back to Brazel, taken down for a loss in the backfield by Derek Alexander. So they get positive yards on a jet sweep. They come back, they fake the jet sweep, and they go back to their running back, and Invaders are ready for it.
Derek's channeling his inner Buck.
Absolutely. So big play here for the Invaders. This is 4-down territory for the Pioneers. I mean, there's enough time if they wanted to obviously get 2 field goals to try and tie it up, but I don't know that they have that kicker that kicked the 52-yarder last year against the Stampede. And the kicking game in semi-pro is a dicey situation at times. Geedham looking to throw to his left. Got time, gets it away. That's another pass out too wide. So 4th down and about 7 for the Pioneers. Jeff DuBose is their leading rusher right now, Franco. Isaiah Sims has been held through 3.5 quarters to 0 yardage.
Yeah, the Invaders D is here tonight. I mean, they're really playing.
The Invaders defense has been there when we've needed them.
They really have.
But when the offense puts them in a bad situation where it's, 1st and 10 at your own 20-yard line, you're already in the red zone, it's tough for the defense to really kind of bow up and keep them out. So 2nd time in the 4th quarter, the Pioneers have a 4th down inside Invaders territory. Invaders need another stop here. 5:06 on the clock. Trips to the left for Geedham. Looking over the middle, passes just wide of the receiver. That's incomplete. Brings up turnover on downs for the Invaders defense.
That'll work.
I will take that.
That'll definitely work.
So the Invaders offense comes back on the field with 5:04 on the clock, needing to chew up a good portion of that try and get this to the finish line.
All right, I want to see some 4-minute offense here. Let's put the ball on the ground and let's run it. 2 tight ends if we have to.
Bring out the big package, the jumbo package.
I'm down with that. Put an I formation in.
I don't know. We haven't run an I formation in 2 years or more.
I don't care.
Can he even snap it that short?
I want under center, and I want
power
football. Give that to me.
And we got one safety deep, man-to-man coverage on the outside. Handoff up the middle. They're expecting that run. Doe, nowhere to go. Tries to bounce to the outside. Keeps the clock running, but
timeout.
Pioneers are using a timeout already.
So they'll have one left.
No, I think they've got 2.
Well, I did one earlier.
I don't know if they actually took a timeout there or if that was just to measure.
That was a long measure then. Long
it was, yeah. Maybe Mr. Pesnick would know how many timeouts they have left.
What's the timeout situation?
Yep. That was their first timeout.
All right. That was their first.
There we go. Special thank you to our sponsors, as always.
4 minutes 58, Buck.
Health Source of North Fargo, Moorhead Massage and Wellness, our lead sponsor. Wear Repair, Discovery Benefits, Dots Pretzels, Ottertail Minn Dakota Coaches, FargoChairRentals.com, TailgateMaster.com, Glacial Peak Cryotherapy, Skill Cuts, Fargo Party Tents, and Widmer Roll CPA. Thank you guys for sponsoring Fargo Invaders football. So 4:58 on the clock. Invaders trying to get the clock moving. Second and about 13. Johnson shifts Doe to the other side. Good pass over the middle to Curry. Caught. Got a head up field. He kind of ran parallel to the line of scrimmage instead of turning it up, which it looked like I thought he was going to have enough room to get the first down. With a timeout. See, he kind of turns
What I
down.
really liked about that play was Javante looked off a receiver, which I haven't seen much of this year. But that was a really nice play by him.
Absolutely.
I'd like to see
so
more of that.
So it's now third and manageable. Is it 3rd and 1? Wow.
It's 3rd and 1.
I thought he was down. I guess I wasn't sure where they tackled him down at, but good
About
spot.
1 yard from the.
So now comes the question, are you going to bring out that jumbo package with our defensive tackles in at tight end and running back to see if they can get a first down? So with that injury, I don't know. Do they actually get charged for a timeout?
Is that how it goes within 2 minutes, but not now.
So the clock should start again.
So it's like a free timeout for him.
The clock should be starting running now, so it's
Yeah,
4:40 and counting. Invaders got all 30 seconds on the play clock, so there's no rush to get to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and short here. Big opportunity for the Invaders to run a couple more minutes off the clock if they can get a first down here. Under 10 seconds on the play clock. Johnson watching that clock before he gets ready to snap it. There's a snap, blitz up the middle. Johnson's going to have to try and run it. It's taken down in the backfield for a sack.
Again, can I have 2 tight ends and a fullback?
Well, in recent games when we've gotten into 3rd and short, 3rd and goal, 4th and goal, we've gone to that jumbo package. And granted, a lot of teams have been ready for it and expecting it, but we've still attempted it. We've still tried to go power football. And that time we tried to pass on a 3rd and short. So, like, the good part is, in a weird way, is that the clock is still running. It would have been better if it would have been running after a first down.
I agree with that.
So 4th and about 7. Tahir to kick this one away. Gets it away. Spiraling kick.
A little
Return
short.
man bobbles it. calls a fair catch at his own 33, 34-yard line. Referee marks at the 33. So 3:12 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Fargo leading by 6 against St. Paul. Playoff seeding on the line. And the Invaders defense once again called on to make a big stop. Invaders got all 3 of their touchdowns in the second quarter. And they really haven't been in Pioneers territory in the second half, if I'm not mistaken.
They really haven't.
And I know they want to run the clock and get to the end.
The Invaders haven't. The Invaders offense has not showed up in the second half.
Nope. I don't know if they've taken their foot off the gas. I know that we've seen that last year when St. Paul came up here, when they had a 3-touchdown lead.
Right.
They kind of took their foot off the gas, and we got back into it. Similar situation here. A little miscommunication on where to spot the ball. The referee on the near sideline had it marked at the 33, and obviously they did not have the chains or the other referee on the other side in the right spot. That ref on the far side of the field probably had it at the 35 anyway. I kid. So 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. Sims with the handoff. He's got some blocks and some room to run. And he's taken down by Vinny Holmes, but into Invaders territory. Nice run by Isaiah, his biggest run of the night. And just like that, they're back in Invaders territory.
You know, I'd even be favored get Derek Alexander back as a fullback. I mean, he knows the position.
Yep. Although last time we played St. Paul, he did have a very unfortunate fumble.
Well, don't give him the ball. I just want the block.
Sims again running to his left, tries to bounce this one to the outside. Jermaine Armstrong trying to make the tackle. Down the sideline he goes, cuts back, missed tackle. Still going, 10-5, touchdown St. Paul. Tie game.
It's amazing what a run game will do for you.
Absolutely. And just like that, with 2:18 to go in the game is tied, and the Pioneers with the chance to kick the extra point to take a 1-point lead. Reminiscent of last week when we had a touchdown lead and gave up 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. So big extra point here for Elistad. 2:18 on the clock to give the Pioneers a 1-point lead. Snap, set, and the kick is up. And it's good. So there you go, 2:18 to go. 21-20, St. Paul is your score. So now after having most of the fourth quarter to try and get that clock running and get to the finish line, you keep giving the other team too many chances, and finally they got their running game going. And missed tackle, and down the sideline, Isaiah Sims goes for a big touchdown run there to give the Pioneers a lead.
And really, it was just a matter of time for Sims to break one.
Yeah.
He's
been quiet.
Kept in check all game long. But, I mean, this defense has played absolutely outstanding tonight.
43-yard touchdown run by Sims to give the Pioneers the lead. So now it's up to the Invaders offense to get something going and pull this one out of the fire.
We have a question about the field goal and why it's not NFL rules. I don't think anybody would make a field goal or an extra point.
Well, here's
maybe we've adopted most of the NFL rules. There are some that we keep kind of realistic for the
right. Well, here's the explanation I had heard from league president was that we use almost all NFL rules except for that one because it promotes more kicking in the NFL.
Right there.
Because we only have, if we go by the 15, I know that we had some kicking struggles of our own. Only had, I hear what's going on, and it's going to be kicked out of the end zone anyway. Did not have the right number of players on the field for kick return. my point being is that kicking from the 15-yard line, I know that when we've done that Lazan Tahir had some issues being consistent because that ends up being at his kind of max of his range right there. So if you do that with kind of the lack of practice on special teams and stuff like that, it doesn't promote a lot of semi-pro teams having kickers. So having the extra point at the 2-yard line for extra point kicks promotes the opportunity for guys that are kickers to come out and kick extra points, because that 15 yards, that extra 13 yards, and we've seen kickers in the NFL have issues with that. And, you bring that down to a semi-pro level, it's not going to be real productive when it comes to the kicking game. So here we go, 2:18 on the clock. Johnson and the Invaders offense out there. Now have to go down the field. Pass this one deep. Got Constant Jackson down the sideline. And out of bounds. First down for the Invaders.
All right, Constance.
And just like that, the Invaders are down in Pioneers territory, finally connecting on that deep go pattern with Constant Jackson and Javante Johnson. So the Invaders need some more yards for the field goal to take the lead. They also need to work a little bit of that clock, but they still got to get the ball into scoring position.
First down and 10 at the 32.
2:12 on the clock here in the fourth. Johnson with 4 wide receivers. Johnson looking, going to throw this one out to John Bonney. Pass is intercepted, but it is way out of bounds. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Invaders. They keep trying that jump ball to John Bonney, and it's not exactly working. Consistently drawing double coverage. So 2nd and 10. John Bonney and Constant Jackson wide to the left. Brandon Jones and Sakuri Ducour wide to the right. Johnson, pass complete to Ducour, tries to break out of a tackle and is taken down. Gains about 8 or 9 on that play, so it'll bring up 3rd and manageable.
Defender slipped a little bit on that play.
Yep. 2-minute warning now. So 1:56 to go in the game. The Invaders getting into field goal range. I would prefer they just put it in the end zone.
I would too. Lazan is warming up.
Yep. So 3rd and 2 after the 2-minute warning. This would be a lot less stressful if it was actually tied right now. You know that?
I agree.
Okay, thank you.
I don't remember what happened on that extra point.
It was a bad snap.
It was a bad snap. Okay.
Derek Alexander had to make a one-handed grab just to come up with the ball, and then he had to just pick it up and run, and he got taken out at about the 1-yard line. He came close to actually running it in for 2, which would have been great because that would have forced Pioneers to go for 2 after that last touchdown.
3rd and 2 at the 24.
So 3rd down for the Invaders. Trying to decide if they're going jumbo package or not. Jumbo package went out there, and then they came back off. So maybe they will, attempt to throw the ball for a 1st down here. And then if it brings up 4th down, then they'll go to that jumbo package. Play clock is running. A little confusion on what personnel they wanted out there.
Hustle up! 10 seconds! Hustle up!
So under 5 seconds on the play clock. Fakes the handoff. Throws this one out to Ducour. Caught inside the 10-yard line for a 1st down for the Invaders. Good call by offensive coordinator Zach Stitch. And a better pitch and catch from Javante Johnson to Ducour.
That was pretty.
So clock is at 1:52 after he stepped out of bounds. So now we're definitely in Lazan's field goal range, but I would like them to take their time and just punch it in the end zone and have to worry about him kicking an extra point as opposed to a game-winning field goal. Because I do think with the way the Pioneers have gotten their offense going, it's been predominantly run heavy, so that's kind of time-consuming. So Johnson, another jump ball pass to John Bonney, catches it. Caught for the touchdown, Fargo. You betcha. John Bonney. 1:46 to go in the game, and the Invaders have gone up 26-21 here late in the fourth quarter.
Wow, that feels good.
It doesn't look good. Put your arms down. See, now you should have had the camera on yourself.
No, they can't.
Do I have to manage this whole broadcast too, Franco? Tell you what to do?
Apparently, because I screwed the whole thing up tonight.
Really?
26-13? Bulls are up 26-13 over the Stampede.
Interesting. So if tonight's results were to hold to form, Invaders would still fall to the 4th seed and would go down to St. Paul next week.
No, we'd go to Sioux City.
See?
Oh, yeah.
Because we would lose the tiebreaker.
Gotcha.
Because they're
That's
beating,
right.
they're beating Sioux City by farther
You're right.
than we're beating
Nope,
St.
you're
Paul.
right. Absolutely.
We only got a 2-point differential lead on Northland, and Northland is winning their game by 13 points, and we're only up by 5. So we'll just have a little false start here, make this 2-point conversion even more difficult. I would like to be up at least, 6 points to force them to make an extra point. So John Bonney wide to the left. That safety help over the top. Pass is intercepted. You got to make the tackle.
No, he's allowed to go.
And he's going to run it in for the 2 points. Although I
think this is.
That's the correct call.
So league president is saying that is also not a rule that has come over from the NFL. That is a dead ball immediately.
We do not have that rule, Matt. We don't have that rule. Oh, okay. Well, the confusing part is that we had a play in our shortened game down in New London, Minnesota, where we had a turnover on the extra point. So that is a no-go. That's not 2 points. It's 26-21. The NFL does not do the extra points at the 15-yard line, and they do not do the live ball on a blocked extra point or a turnover on the 2-point conversion. So it's 26-21 with 1:46 to go in the game. So Invaders up by 5 after that touchdown pass to John Bonney from Javante Johnson. So the Invaders defense is going to have to step up for the last 1 minute and 46 seconds to go in the game. A lot of confusion there by myself included.
Yeah, me too. I thought that was
2 points. That was 2 points, and then we got to prevent a game-tying field goal.
Right? Which would have been a good story.
Yeah, cool story, bro. Either way, Pioneers need a touchdown to take the lead, trailing by 5. So time for the Invaders defense to step up here and end this one. Need a little sip of water here.
I'm glad you're hydrated.
I got to stay hydrated. I got to keep my throat, going so I can talk. Lazantier set to kick this one away. And
offsides?
Yep. Number 47, that was one of our new additions, Mr. McAllister.
That's all right.
Little anxious.
Just have to put it in the end zone from
even farther back?
Yeah.
What is the rule on that? The kicking team cannot move until the ball is kicked? Is that how it is?
They just can't be in front of the ball when the ball is kicked.
I didn't know if that was if they had a shorter run up or if they just had to wait till it was kicked. They all got to be on that line and wait. One step forward and 2 steps back. So here we go to try and re-kick this one more time. Invaders need good kick coverage here. Kind of a swirly little kick there, taken at the 11-yard line by number 9. Still running, taken down all the way out to the 40-yard line. Nice return by DuBose. So decent field position to start for the Pioneers. And they have 2 timeouts remaining. We're already past the 2-minute warning. So they are going to have to either get out of bounds or use those 2 timeouts wisely to try and get this ball in the end zone and pull out a victory and clinch the number 1 seed in the playoffs. So we'll see what Giedem and the offense can do. Crowd really getting into it. Giedem, handoff to Sims. They're taken down. Gain of about a yard. Clock running.
Antonio and Neal.
Jameis Neal?
And Anthony Antonio
Oh, okay.
on the tackle.
Clock running right now. Pioneers letting it run. Trying to, I guess, hope for the one big play. Giedem back to pass, throws it. I don't know if there's a miscommunication there or what. Threw it to a big chunk of open green grass there. Which is fine by me. Brings up 3rd down.
Minute 3 left.
I don't know if he overthrew his intended receiver or underthrew the other one. 6 of one, half it does the other. All ends up in an incomplete pass. 1:03 on the clock, like Mr. Franco said. 3rd down. Invaders got to have 2 more stops. They've got that beast of a 4-man front out there too right now, Franco. Smith, Wallow, Antonio, and Jeremy Gordon along the defensive line. Trips to the left this time. Looking over the middle, is going to throw this one deep. 2-man coverage. Picked off by Josh Gatling. Doesn't go down, still running. Down the sideline he goes. Can he get a couple blocks? Keep going.
Patient.
There he goes. And that could seal it right there, folks. Josh Gatling with the interception. Turnover number 7 for the Pioneers. Should just about wrap this one up. They've got 2 timeouts left, 48 seconds left on the clock. Invaders are going to have to come out there and get into victory formation. Penalty flag is on the field. Looks like he's got
Looks like another unsportsmanlike.
or a sideline warning, something. I guess I was not seeing what they were seeing. Yep, another sideline penalty. I don't think that's too much of a concern right now. I see Mr. Jeff McGaster out there talking with some of the offensive linemen. And if he stays true to his word, this is his last season in semi-pro football, which would make a lot of offenses around the league very happy.
Very happy. He's an animal, that one.
He is, and I went out there and made sure I took the time to greet him after our last matchup in St. Paul, and he is a very large man. So Invaders in their modified victory formation here. Johnson with the snap, rolls back, takes a knee. Timeout taken by the Pioneers. Still got one more. 5, 10. I'm not really sure I like the 15-yard running back. I know you're running a little bit extra seconds off the clock, but you can only do that so many times.
Yeah.
I would prefer him be a little bit closer and just step up and take the knee. Force them, because they're going to take the timeout anyway, and you have to run one more play after that to try and get the clock to triple zeros.
I know if I have any input for next year, it's going to be, can we get a under center step? I don't even have to have an eye formation. I just want the quarterback under center.
42.7 seconds on the clock here in the fourth. Johnson takes another knee, and they will use their last timeout. So 40.6 seconds left on the clock. He's going to have to run around a little bit here on third down to get that clock to keep running and then be able to get to a point where they're not going to have to snap the ball again. It seems like the head coach of the Pioneers is talking to our team.
Timeout, Pioneers.
I think we already knew that. Did somebody start the clock? Because now it says 37.5 seconds left. So, with this win, the Invaders will move their mark on the season to 6-4, 2-4 in the NEFL. And pending the game down in Sioux City, we'll determine whether we're going Sioux City or to St. Paul. If the results hold as they are, we will go to St. Paul. But Sioux City has made some comebacks in their existence, so we'll have to wait and see if they can pull one out against the Northland Bulls. Javante Johnson, clock running, brings up fourth down now. And as soon as the ball gets set by the refs and they wind the clock, we're under 30 seconds, so, and there it is. So 20 seconds remaining, and that's going to run out the clock, folks. A good way to end the season, a victory over the St. Paul Pioneers. So some momentum look for this Invaders team headed towards the playoffs. And I know a number of times we've spoke, probably not even on the air, Franco, but we've spoke that if we don't make mistakes to beat ourselves, we can beat every team in this league. And so we found a way to get it done today. 3 touchdown passes by Javante Johnson and a pick 6 by Johnny Ware that ended up making all the difference in the world. And the Pioneers will fall to 7-3 overall this season with a 4-2 record in the NEFL. So a sloppy first quarter and a half between these two teams. We end up with 13 turnovers on the day.
It was a sloppy game,
which is less than ideal for both teams. Dennis Geedham, 7 interceptions. Javante Johnson had 3. However, the difference is Geedham only had 1 touchdown and Johnson had 3. Isaiah Sims, after being held in check for the first half, got things going in the second, ends up with 15 carries for 68 yards and 2 touchdowns. DeBose was a factor running that jet sweep. Seems like he had more than 2 carries. Statistically, we only have him listed as 2 carries for 36 yards. If I can update it one more time to make sure there was nothing missed. Receiving for the Pioneers, your 1 touchdown reception was by Josh Murray, 4 catches for 53 yards and a touchdown. On the Invaders side of the ball, Javante Johnson led the team in rushing, 6 carries for 32 yards. However, the leading rusher per carry was Dante Starr at an 8-yard per clip carry. Invaders' receiving corps were led catches by DeCoury with 5 catches, Jackson with 5 catches, and Bounty with 5 catches. Constant Jackson had 129 yards and 1 touchdown, where John Bounty had 68 yards and 2 touchdowns. So if you had either of those 2 guys in your NEFL fantasy league, they both got to the same amount of points, at least in my scoring system. Just saying.
I'm glad you got it straight.
I'm glad I did too.
I think about if this team, if the offense could really match what the defense can do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I really think that there's a conversation that we could have the best team in the league, but that offense is just so inconsistent. And it really is our Achilles heel. And I think tonight, seeing those flashes, and I think last week we saw some flashes too.
Yep.
I just want to see more flashes, and I want to see more consistency.
Absolutely. And I want to see at times.
I also want to see an I formation.
Well, that too. There's times, though, I think what concerns me is sometimes it's always decision-making when it comes to these football games. What decision are you making when you're that quarterback and you're under pressure? Are you going to try and throw it away? Are you going to try and throw it deep? Well, when you're throwing it deep, are you throwing it to a receiver that's one-on-one coverage, or are you throwing it into double coverage? And we've seen that. And there's one time I know that last week against the Stampede, you were expecting Brandon Jones to be across the middle. You just kind of float that pass across the middle. Unfortunately, you got one of the best safeties in the league, Tyree Kemp, right there reading it. So, what can I say? Can we go to that camera at all?
This one? Yeah.
Yeah, because that's pointed to nowhere
Nothing.
in the middle of the field.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get our faces on here. What am I doing?
I don't know.
Different things. There. There we go.
So, it's been a wild season for a number of reasons. To try and wrap up the regular season as a whole, we've seen the Invaders dominate some lesser opponents.
And we've seen that over the course of the 3 years that I've been with the team. They've really been able to handle their own against teams that are not in our league, literally in the NFL. They've been able to dominate them. They've got into this league, and when we've gotten into this league where we've played teams like the Pioneers, Stampede, etc., and we have to play them multiple times in a season, you see kind of these swings where mistakes cost us in St. Paul against these guys, but when we come home, the mistakes didn't quite kill us. It was close, but it almost did. But we were able to manage to work our way through it. And it just shows you how important it is to win the turnover battle, make good decisions on offense and defense, have good communication with your players, and be able to get it to the end. We've seen hey, you guys need to do a camera game, and a couple games that we had over at Fargo South. We had tonight's, Wi-Fi and computer issues, which it had been a while since we had some real big issues like that. So, get it out of the way before the playoffs.
I'm sure part of it was I was playing with new technology that I got this week, and I didn't have any time. Well, I tested it a little bit last night.
We've had
that's my fault. Sorry, guys.
We've had some issues at Moorhead Massage and Wellness that I'm happy that are working their way through, and I think are going to turn out even better than before. We've lost one of our dear friends a few weeks ago, which has made football less important, to be honest.
It really has. And I'll tell you, driving to the stadium today, there was something that I wanted. You went and you got an adapter for me today. And that was something that I could call Johnny, and he would have just done and met us here.
Mm-hmm.
And we miss him.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm real thankful that we were able to have the Gray family here, and we're able to dedicate this game to him and have a moment of silence for him. They tried to do one of those lanterns.
Oh, did that not work?
It didn't work. It was just the way semi-pro stuff goes.
It was probably because the air show is happening and the whole airspace is locked down, so it just knew that,
maybe Johnny was like, no, don't do that right.
Let's be safe.
So it was nice to have them here. It's even better to be able to pull out a win when we really, truly dedicated this game to Johnny today, and had his friends from Blush Salon and his family here. So that meant a lot. So we've had that. We've had new guys coming into the team throughout the season. We've had a season in the NFL where we've had 4 of our most solid teams when it comes to organizational structure pull through a 4-team regular season, and now 4 teams where even though we've got 2 teams that could end the season at 2-4 in the league, both Northland and Fargo, if they play their best and make fewer mistakes than the other team, they could win the whole thing.
Bulls are winning right now.
Absolutely.
Right?
They're up by 2 touchdowns.
Do we still have a score? Or we have a score for that game yet? Oh, it's still halftime?
Last update was hot.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got a lot of parity, even though it doesn't show in the records. We've got parity in the league, which is good. I can only hope that there are going to be some good things in store for the NFL this offseason and going forward. But these 4 teams that we do have play some good quality football, and you can't take any of these 4 teams lightly. because you play against some of these other teams. I mean, we've got a new team in Western Dakota that's playing in the MPFL today up in Grand Forks, and we handled our own on them in our season opener. So, and they're a competitive team in that league. So It just shows you the quality of football that we have here in the NEFL, and we continue to improve the quality of play. So it's been a wild ride this season with off the field issues. We've missed several games working together.
It has been a wild 2019 for sure.
I mean, we did some games on my iPad. You did a game without me, and so now we're back, and we're Franco and I are getting ready for the playoffs, and we're going to be either in Sioux City or in St. Paul for the Invaders playoff game, and then after that, who knows?
There's lots of stuff. So if you're watching on the Fire Network and you haven't subscribed to us yet, please do.
Mm-hmm.
There is more from this channel that is coming. We've got some things that are brewing. September, we have a big event. So
big event. Big time.
So this is a network that's going to continue to grow and hopefully stay the home of the Fargo Invaders.
Absolutely. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Obviously, we didn't get a chance for Miss Jody Woods, who's got the worst time slot in radio in Fargo here. Unfortunately, her better half got injured, so she was tending to him, so she was not able to do our reads today. We had some obviously technical issues with no scoreboard and commercials, but we managed to thank our sponsors. Lead sponsor is always Moorhead Massage and Wellness, and we want to thank Moorhead Massage and Wellness for letting this guy come over away from work and able to help me produce this extravaganza.
It's a big word.
I know, but I'm just trying to make sure that Crystal knows I appreciate her. So everybody, make sure, as always, as I said last week, and it's very important to me, for you guys out there, if you're out having fun on a Saturday night, please make sure you get a safe ride home. Lyft, Uber, call a friend, call a parent, something like that. And then when you're driving home and getting that safe ride home, make sure you buckle up and be safe. As my best friend in high school, his parents used to say, big three. Buckle up, drive safe, and we love you. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. For Matthew Frank and myself, Jay Stemma, we will see you next time. Yeah, you